Hello, Ceduna Online. I'm here with some lovely people who are going to tell us all about this beautiful garden that you can see in the back of my picture there. First of all, I wanted to know a little bit about who... sorry, not you. No, that's not you, that's me. The thing is telling me things that... And I just wanted to know a little bit about whose garden it is. And so my name is Shanna, I'm from Ceduna Online.
Yep.
And we're talking to...
Howie King.
Hello, Alec. And this is your garden.
Yeah, this is our garden here. I don't know, we've been here 20 years. We've probably been doing the tropical look for about 40 years, outdoors. So, yeah, today was, I've had about 3, 4 or 5 open garden days. Called them a tribute to Elaine because with her drive it set your standards. So, and since then, like, it's too good, you know, I enjoy it myself, and it's been good therapy, and you get a lot out of it, and it's good to have days like this where people can come and have a look and make some money for the community.
Lovely, yeah.
And yeah.
And it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of people say how much work it is and whatever. Like it is constant, but the last 2 years I've barely been able to do. First 12 months I was battling to do an hour a day probably, and that didn't include gardening. Most of that included housework and that as well. So, you know, once it's established with hardier type plants, and the area we're sitting in here now is probably the easiest part of the garden to look after. You hardly ever prune it. Some misters, the pots are your biggest thing, you've got to repot them. But apart from that, they haven't been repotted for 2 years, 3 years, so, you know, and it's on, most of it's on automatic. So from here forward at the house, is mowing the lawn's the biggest job.
yeah, right. Wow. And so many hours. So we're here until 4 today if you want to come down and have a look at the lovely garden we're talking about. And we're just in the first section here. There's quite a bit more back through. And I'm not going to take you through because you're going to have to come down and have a look for yourself. And so yourself and Elaine were the ones that actually started this. So what did it look like before you began?
Yeah, well, this structure here was actually here.
Okay.
It had a couple of tulip gums out the front and out the side. So like that little section was next door. We put the fence up higher. Crazy paved this. I was working for a guy and they poured the walls for the new botlow, so put them to use. And a lot of it's been just out of the whole yard really is out of recycled stuff.
Wow, really?
Yeah, the bricks in the driveway are recycled up the back, so oyster leaf stuff thrown out. So it's all been created just with a bit of work. So.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Yeah. And tell me a little bit about Elaine and her work in here as well.
Yeah, if a leaf fell in the yard, she'd be after it. No, she was very passionate about it. We kind of both had the same interest. Yeah, she had the finesse. I'd do the bulk of setting up and stuff, and she'd keep it under control. So yeah, and like a lot of the plants and stuff, like we always had the same kind of plant idea.
Yeah, right. So you work well together, and it shows too. We were actually just discussing that before you came and sat down with us.
Everything had to be done. I give up telling her what jobs I had in my brain ahead of her because she'd just want them done straight away.
Yeah.
There's still a couple there that I haven't been out and haven't been finished either.
Oh, that's awesome. No, these plants back here, like I say, this is only the first section, but it's just that I feel really privileged just sitting here under this gorgeous thing. And that's the other thing ladies and I were talking about while we're waiting for you all to come and join us. Thank you, Alex, for that. And who can tell me a little bit about the auxiliary? We're here today raising money for the Ceduna Hospital and Village Auxiliary that do a lot of work around the town. And last I spoke to Janet, I think you were working on some rooms a couple of months ago. But if I can who's the best person to just tell me what the auxiliary does actually do around the place?
Well, both Janet and I suppose.
Okay.
Do you want my name?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm Claire Collins, and I'm currently the chairperson for the auxiliary, the Ceduna Village Hospital Auxiliary. And we have been for the last many years raising money for the renovations of the residence rooms in the north wing of the village. These have nearly been completed, but we're now focusing on creating a sensory garden at the village for the residents, and certainly I think with Alex's help that we'll probably get this pretty well kick-started now. It's been a great turnout today, and a lot of people have participated in the raffles and the donations, and so I think we'll be well ready to start with that next project.
Awesome. What's a sensory garden, and why do you want one of those at the village?
Well, with people with dementia, there's evidence that they like to walk through a garden area where they can feel and smell and touch plants. So I'm not sure how we will do this, but I have an image in my head that there will be pathways around, and there'll be plants like lavender, roses, thyme, rosemary, those kind of plants that give off a lot of aromas, and that's what my understanding of a sensory garden is.
Sounds so lovely, and such a sanctuary too, because I think even people my age, but more so the people you've got in the village now, I'm sure gardens were always a sanctuary before they had a lot of the things we have now,
I think a lot of people have gardens at home anyway, maybe not to the wonderful extent of Alex's, but I mean we've all got some plants that we tend, and
some memory of some fabulous garden.
We've had our mothers who were very good gardeners.
That's right.
And I think we all like to pop around a little bit to some extent.
Sounds wonderful. It also sounds like something that you could do with quite a bit of help, like labour with as well, not just some younger people to come in and do a little bit of
the right words.
Come in and do a bit of the work.
One person. I mean, once the garden gets set up, Alec knows that you've got to tend it, you've got to trim it and prune it and take care of it. I mean, you can't just create the garden and then just leave it. So certainly we'll be looking for volunteers, and it won't be the staff's responsibility because they're so busy looking after the residents.
Yes, right. Yeah.
We do need the volunteer gardeners to come and lend a hand.
Do you think you'll have a bit of a busy bee once you've got everything sort of, and see if people will come and lend a hand for an hour or so, and be a good idea.
We're racing ahead a bit now, but I think, why not?
Oh, you'll get there. You're well on your way. Oh, awesome. And the Village Auxiliary, if someone wanted to, excuse me, like if this is the first they're hearing of your existence, how could they or who could they contact to become part of the group? And is that something they can do, or even just donate to the auxiliary?
Well, we meet the first Thursday every second month, and we normally meet in the North Lounge at the village, and we welcome anybody to come along and to join. I mean, the joining fee is $10, and as I said, we meet every second month and we plan our activities. at these meetings. So you can contact Janet Jacobson or myself or any other members of the auxiliary and just come along.
Lovely. Okay. And is there a best way to contact Janet if someone wanted to contact you and say, hey, I've got a donation, or hey, I'd like to come along? Is there some public form of contact that we could share that's okay to go out?
Yes, you can have my telephone number.
Yes.
0427 672 739, or contact Min at the village, who's the manager of the village. Contact Min and he will certainly pass it on to Claire or myself or Val or Maureen. And we'd only be too happy to have people come aboard and help us out. And even if they're interested in doing some volunteer work with the garden area or anything at the village or the health service, if they contact Debbie Greatbatch, she will give them the information required for a volunteer.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, lovely. Thanks for that. Now, what is the address here if someone wanted to come on down today? 68. That sounds right. Yeah.
68 Seaview Terrace. Come on down. We're here till 4 o'clock, and then there's a barbecue that's from 4 to 7 as well. So you're welcome to come down for that.
This would be gorgeous in the evening.
We've got a lucky door prize, and we've got a raffle. First prize is $100 donated from Ceduna Buy and Earth Movers. Second prize is a garden pot donated by Ceduna Home Timber and Hardware, and a succulent garden plate donated by Waterwise Nursery. And then we've got a trailer load of wood donated by Tosh Shannon, Ceduna Tree Trimming, and the highest bid wins that. So it's a silent auction. Just put your name and contact number on the ticket and pop it in the box, and we'll call you when we've drawn the lucky person that's paid that's offered the most money for the trailer of wood.
Awesome.
Yes.
And so 68 Seaview Terrace, Thevenard, that was, if anyone missed that. Jill Graham is saying, keeping busy, Claire. Hi Jill, how you going? Yes, Claire's always keeping busy. I'll just show, she's commenting there, so she's talking to you. Lovely. Okay, well, perhaps we'll let you go. So come on down. So you can come down for some tea even tonight and see the garden again, even if you've seen it again today. See it in the evening tonight and grab a sausage, and we'll leave it there. Well, thank you very much, Alex, for having us here today. And thank you, Claire, for talking.
And thanks very much from the auxiliary for Alec for his time and effort and putting it in. And the money that we raised today goes entirely to the fund to help set up the residents' garden area at the village. So whatever's raised today goes towards the garden area.
Lovely. Okay.
There's also the Coolman wing, I think, as well. We're also are we talking about? I think we are talking about the Coolman wing as well.
Okay.
There's an area by the aged care part of the hospital that needs a little bit of TLC.
Awesome, lovely. So come on down. It's $5 to come in the door. Have a wander through the garden. You'll be amazed, because I didn't know what I was expecting when I walked in, and I've only come to the first bit. I haven't seen the rest yet.
No, it's all very enthusiastic, I think, to go home and sweep up our own garden.
I'll have to start cracking the whip with my gardener at home.
Invite Alex around to my place too.
Not me, I had to get a few in to help me.
Lovely. All right, so I'll let you go, Ceduna Online. Thanks for visiting us. Great work, ladies, from Jill Graham.
Jill,
Thanks, Jill. All right. See you, Ceduna Online. Bye.